Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, due to the time differences. I hope everyone is doing quite well by the grace. So, the topic today is a marriage is not a competition, but teamwork. So, um, as always, music is a good sensory for the mind, body, and soul. I'm going to play Quadranchi for the opening and then closing. I'll play other songs. I'm starting with Dadianoma. Oof, the love is right there, and the love is deep. I love Quadranchi. Here we go. Okay. Hey, brother, Quay. Exactly. I'm from what you saying. One love. Let's take come on. The love is healed. Let's take come on. Brother Quay. One love to you. Good to see you. I go through some stuff. Because again, you want to the same one. I have so much going on, but life is how we make it. That many now. Jamie, I think he was gonna be my people. Hey, Mr. Music Man, Charlie. But don't worry about that, baby. Oh, don't worry about that, baby. This way, Viva Mamio, hey, Viva Mamio. Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. Hey, Namisha. Money, I'm getting and I'm meeting every family. Every family. Mr. Lee Patterson! Hey, Orodiero, which one here? Hey, when you have understanding, love is sweet, we are romantic night, and when you yes, you are. Right, Mr. Lee? Oh, no, who get by the I did. This way, what? Hey. Viva Manuel. Viva Manuel. Viva Manuel. Yellow, Mr. Lee. One love. Always. And you're not maintain. Happy family. Woo! Hey! But Sister Aisha Anthony. Obama, there was someone in the air. Hey! Woo! Hey! Charlie? When I see that Sister Love, Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee and his Sister Love, and then I have Some of my sisters also from a sister love. That's we love you. Hey, we love you. We love you. Here, or someone Tiasia, or someone Tiasia. Mr. Lee, one of and then me the matter ambitious me take it easy. And you make a come name my baby. My head is messing me up now. It needs to rain here. No better than being here. Oh, Charlie, and you want me boy mamono. He sent me close to a new moment out. My main cock glue the right. Groovy. Hey, groovy. After temple short. My special dance for K. Maybe I have a special dance for K, Martin. Let me put this here. My special dance. I can't see this is sad. Meaning you're driving me. We know yes, yeah, my tear. Oh, me, I should miss so. Why I miss so immediate mania. Whoa. Baby, more. Now, Russian in India, me to the swamp, sorry. Ooh, groovy. I tell you one on this area. The Coney, yeah. Ooh, groovy. I tell you one night in Nantia. The Coney, yeah. Baby, I met you in my name. I feel like you're my convention share. Kwa wasente me konsona me. Oh, I know you would you. And here was your yes, well. I ever sing as a shade that one. Hey! Thank you, sis. I always take what my mama gets me. You know it. Come here. Let me type the topic. Got it. Type the topic. Hey. I'm confused with this song. Okay. Marriage. And marriage is not a competition, but teamwork. I love going to your head. Mr. Music Man, king of love songs. Okay. And marriage is not. Oh, Enchi. Okay, favorite song. My moment. Hey! Oh! Mommy, hold on. I know you made me favorite song. I'm saving that for later. This is Kay's favorite song. Although you're way. My favorite song from Enchi. Yeah. At the Pampu shot. Hey. Obon way say I know na me why fair no one stress no one yeah. That is a turn on.
Feel true, not the girl, rock me again. Feel true, not the girl, rock me again. Feel true, not the girl, rock me again. Eternity. Feel true, not the girl, rock me again. Feel true, not the girl, rock me again. Feel true, not the girl, rock me again.
The knowledgeable, motivational, beautiful, strong, well, marvelous boss lady. One. Boss, I promise to say, I hope so. Yes, what done. And then Shira. Yeah, papa. And you know, let's go into the discussion today. Why? So the discussion, oh my goodness, today is a marriage is not competition, but teamwork in Abrabo Mu Nsem life issues. Oh, Nana, I left the other phone on the other side, but it's quite okay. I don't need it. Okay, so, you know, most of the time, I'll do promos in a few. Most of the time, you know, it's really unfortunate that some couples cannot work together to build a healthier, successful, happier, understanding, caring, motivational, loyal, honest, respectable, and so many other positive aspect homes. Now it seems like money is taking over everything. I'm not saying money is not good. Money is good. When you make a lot of money, of course, you'll be able to do a lot of things that you will normally would not be able to do lacking of money. But at the same time, you know, when you do make money or do have money, you need to be able to do research and invest. Smart investment, not just investment that you hear on social media or like somebody else's platform. When people introduce investment and so many other things, you know, you need to be able to do research. Just make sure that you're not putting your money into something that you will not get anything back. Then that will be waste of your money, waste of your time, and waste of your hard work. I welcome each and every one of you. I hope say yes, I do sure be here. Brother Isaac Amwani Memao Akwaba Apomu saying it's good to see you always. You have not disappointed, you know, you always here supporting boss. I like your moves. Thank you, boss. Some of the moves I can bring it out because you know I have mom and dad watching. So I have to save some of the moves for K. You see what I'm saying? Oh, Minyaba Ahofedia or Ba Yardanis. Apomo saying it's good to see you as always with hey, sister Hannah Ofori, my Black Beauty sister. And saying it's good to see you. Thank you so very much. You know, one of those dresses, you buy them and you put them on, you're thinking you're petite and it looks more like a long, you know, top. So if you don't wear something underneath, my sister, everybody is going to see your undergarment and I can't have that happening. You see what I'm saying? So I have to wear my leggings underneath it, to make sure it's proper. Can you imagine me dancing? I lift my leg and I'm showing you Kay's business and my business out there. That would not be proper. Okay, so when we do investments now, we need to be able to like really do research and figure out doing comparison, and also like how many years. Sometimes you may have a company who had just started out, their retirement, business and stuff, but you still need to be able to like figure out, okay, is this a smart investment? My mother and my older sister, like, some years back, they did an insurance, and the person whom we are close to, very close to, did not explain the, oh my gosh, he did not explain how it works. Like the only thing that was told to them, like, okay, this is a good life insurance, you'll be able to make money when you get to this age and that age and stuff like that. Nothing was told to them, like, if you turn 70 and you haven't died, you lose all the money that you put into that insurance. So let's just say that you have been investing in that insurance for the past 50 years and you turn 70 and you do not die, the insurance company earns that money. You risk everything. So you have to start everything over. Can you imagine? So if you doing an insurance and you are told the truth, it's explained to you clearly, nobody will invest in such insurance because, hey, who knows? I might go past 70 years old or like not, whichever way. But it's so wrong for someone to work their hardest and put money into something, and then they turn to certain age and they'll be told, okay, you have to start over. All the money you put in for the past couple years is down the drain. That's not smart investment. That's really very unintelligent investment. But people have ways and means to do business. So it's not everything you hear that you have to run and get into it, for sure. So make sure, like, your money you put into investment for early retirement, for retirement, you make sure that you're doing it accordingly and you're not losing nothing out. In fact, you're gaining, and the company is also gaining something out of it. As long as both of you are gaining things, it's a win-win situation. So you don't lose out more. But building a happier, respectable, and healthier home is never easy. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, and most of the time, a lot of people don't realize that in marriage, it doesn't take one person. With one person can never make a marriage work. Coming from the Ghanaian community, women are taught to be the one, who takes care of the home, the children, chores, everything. And they are the one it falls on to make sure that their marriage stays intact. So if a woman is not able to satisfy their husband's desires because the husband might be lacking of skills in bed, they don't have creativity, they're not romantic, they don't know how to like really display any type of intimacy and all the other things, that spice up, our bedroom activities. Now, it's still a woman's job to maintain the home, their marital home, to make the husband happy. How can a woman makes how can a wife make a husband happy when the husband cannot perform his job right? The man is the head of the house. Even with that, a lot of men lack of understanding of being the head of the house. As the head of the house, you need to be the role model, so everybody else will follow your lead. So if you have a husband who is unfaithful, if you have a husband who is a womanizer, if you have a husband who is verbally abusive, if you have a husband who is so many other things other than being a role model, and for him to lead to maintain a healthier marital home, a happier marital home, a respectable marital home, honest marital home, transparency, and so many others, huh, if you don't have that, how is a woman supposed to maintain that home? It requires work. Marriage is work. And it's not just one partner's work, it's both partners. You guys need to be able to learn certain components. Some of the components, we talk about it a lot. Effective communication. Some people will put open communication. Wonderful, because you speaking up your mind. But you need to have constructive ones. If you're not able to speak as a wife, you're not able to speak to your husband in a respectful manner, he's not going to hear it, what you're trying to communicate with him. Each time you ask to speak with him, he's always going to think, oh, here we go again. I can't handle this. This is not working. It's unhealthy. You always screaming or making noise. I cannot understand anything that you're saying. So most times, some married couples, they do talk to each other, but not with each other. They're talking at each other, screaming, yelling, using inappropriate words or nasty words to communicate with your partner, comparing, competing with other couples. I mean, like growing up, hello, my knowledgeable, beautiful sister, comfort, miracle. I mean, Apomo Etison, Tamirwa, Memo Papa. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I see you. If everyone is welcome. If you want to join the conversation, come share your views. Let me know, and then you come and also share some of your opinion. I will learn from that, and others will also take something out of it. Thank you, sis. So, like some of the things that we do to ourselves as couples. Today I'm talking about couples, marriage. But there are some things that I will talk about that if you're not married, if you're planning to get married, you will still be able to learn something out of it. You will benefit with something. Mm-hmm. So, it is so important for us to talk with one another. Don't disrespect. If you have a partner who has a loud voice, like hey, he has a loud voice. He has a deep, loud voice. So most times, if you're talking with him and he gets very excited, if other people don't know him like I do, they would think, or you would think that he's upset. You would think that there's a commotion going on. And as time went on, he has been able to learn to self-regulate his voice. Like, when he's speaking out of an excitement, sometimes, is due diligent, like he has that, to celebrate. If you celebrating, of course, he's gonna be screaming, yeah, like make certain noise. But like when you having conversation with someone on the line, at times, there are certain conversation nobody else supposed to be hearing that conversation. So you tone it down. Or like speaking with someone, speaking with your children, you have to learn to regulate your voice, because then even when your child does something and you redirecting that child, that tone of voice alone itself can scare that child. And anything, everything that they want to say will be like suppressed. A wife will not be able to speak with a husband who has a louder voice, and their voice is like so loud at times it hurt your ears, right? So we need to learn to control our tone of voice when we are happy, when we angry, when we are upset, when we feeling certain way down, feeling jealous, and so many other um, emotions going through us. Our body language, how we standing, how we sitting, like they all play a major part in having effective communication. Some people, like, we have some women, some wives, some husbands, when they doing something wrong and you try to redirect them, they would, the first thing that will come out of their mouth is like, I'm not your child. I'm not a child. Don't talk to me like that. They're not understanding from your perspective. So before you try, as a significant other, before you try to redirect your husband or your wife, you need to make sure that they understand where you're coming from without them assuming or accusing you of trying to tell them what to do, because that a lot of times get couples into arguments. Now, like, in marriage there's two people. Period. There shouldn't be a third person. Like, Kay and I have multiple conversation dialogue, and some of the, and we have open conversation, we go all the way around. It didn't start out like that. In fact, the two of us struggled in the beginning of our marriage, because both of us did not really understand what marriage is about. My thoughts at the time was that it was his job to make me happy. It was his job to do everything for me. It was his job. Like, it was just crazy. I don't even know what made me think such manner. My parents, I saw my parents, growing up, they talk with one another. My mom was very supportive to my dad. My dad is supportive to her, and they made their marriage work. When they have disagreement, they have disagreement, but not in front of us. At times you see body language. They don't realize that we see it, and they don't argue in front of us. They don't do that. But like, at times you see like the distant, right? And then the next day or 2 days later, everything is back to normal. But my mom will not bring that on us as the children. She will make sure that she give us all the unconditional love that we need. She will redirect us if needed to. And with her, she has like, my mom has such a giving, like, she's so kind. She's too kind, I should say. She's too kind. And but when it comes to her children, nobody mess with her children. But when we do wrong, she's going to redirect you and make sure you take accountability for your action. If you make foolish decisions, it's gonna fall on you, and she's gonna make sure that you take accountability for it and you redeem yourself. It's not going to be like hanging, oh, is mom going to do? No. And they use their words. They use that. My father's punishment when we do wrong was we have to go to the library. And if we supposed to read 2 books this week, it's going to be 3 or 4 books. And we have to summarize all of them. You cannot look in the back and write what has been written there. That's plagiarism. So, like, it was amazing. Both my parents, they were strong. When my dad is not around, my mom is not going to say, wait till your dad gets home. Oh, no, 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 no. She's not going there. She's going to let you know, okay, what you did, this is what's going to happen. This is what needs to be done. And when your father comes, he will know exactly what happened and what you need to do. If he had to add on to my punishment, then we add that on. But those two, you can't put anything past them. I'm telling you. Thank you, Sister Rekua. Hey, Sister Aisha, you back? Okay, come and give me some filler. Like Mr. Lee Patterson. Yeah. Mr. Lee Patterson said there are women with tall personality and a deep voice. This personality sometimes is intimidating to their men. Mr. Lee, increase the volume more. I'm telling you, like, we are all uniquely made. And some of us, we have men who has a high pitch of tone of voice. And there are women, some women who also have high pitch of tone of voice. So yes, when someone has that tone of voice, it's really intimidating. And the ironic part and the, like, the saddest part, that you have some of them, they do use their voice to intentionally intimidate their partners, because they want their partners to fear them. They want to be in control. Like, especially if you dating a control, if you married to a control freak, and it can go either way. It could be a woman or a man. In both genders, we have control freaks, especially when they have financial control. Like, if they're the one making the most money, ooh, you in trouble. Like, they treat you like you are nobody, which is really important. So having conversation, open conversation, effective communication, dialogue, as Mr. Lee would say, constructive dialogue, Mr. Lee would say it. Let me put the constructive there, because if I don't, he'll be like, no, Sister Love, it's not just any dialogue. Constructive, open dialogue, then it's difficult, because anything before you can even start speaking, sometimes, like, you may have a wife who, or a husband who wants to talk to their wife, and be like, okay, honey, do you have a minute? I need to talk to you. But like, what do you need to talk to me about? And be like, okay, it's nothing major, but I just need to discuss something with you. Be like, for what? I don't have time. Well, if you want to talk about it now, you can start speaking. You see the body language, they're not even receptive to what you're saying. Like, their mind is elsewhere. They're rushing you to speak your mind. That should tell you red flag. They don't want to hear it. But then if it's a decision that will affect him or her, and you go ahead and do it anyway without having the patience to talk to them about it, talk to him or her about it, and you go ahead, they're going to be upset that, you disrespect them, you did not have a conversation with them, and this and that. No, marriage is 2 people. It takes 2 to tango. So if I'm going to be making decisions, that's going to affect K. I need to make sure that I find the right time when he's in a good mood, in a, like, nobody's perfect, or in a good place, at his peace of mind. And, like, doing, sometimes we might be having quality time with your partner, and as you guys, are having some intimate time doesn't necessarily have to mean that you having sex, or making love. No, you can have intimacy, just spending time, caressing each other without going to all the way, right? So like you can just, sweet talk, not to take advantage of your partner. I'm not talking about those sweet talk, or not to do 419 on your partner. No, sweet talks just to make him or her feel good. And then you just bring up what you want to tell them, to talk to them about it and ask them their opinion. But like, this is something that I've been thinking about for quite some time, but I have not really come out with a strategic plan as to how to go about it. But I wanted to speak to you to find out if this is something that you'll be able to support me with, or be able to help me, come out with a plan and move forward with it. Because, we spending our time together. I want to make sure that you with me. I don't want to just go ahead and make decision without you knowing, you being transparent regarding what you want to do. So let's see, Sister Sage, new day. Go when him the account. Sister Sage, I promote to sing. Emma Wakwaba. To say, Sister, Sister Sage, you said greetings, Sister Adwoa Odo, and the beautiful couple aboard. Greetings to you as well. I told you guys the promo is coming. Sister Aisha Anka said, when you and your spouse do life as a team, it's amazing what you can accomplish together. But if you compete against each other, Yehovah, it's yeah, someone. It's a serious matter when couples work together as a team. They have higher percentage of being more successful, because two minds works greater than one mind, and you accomplish a lot, most definitely. But like when you compete against each other, it's like a bad recipe. What are you doing? Learn some coping skills. Why do two people who have made a decision and promised each other to build a life together, have children together, competing against each other? Does it even make sense to you? For those like who has not gotten there yet, why must I compete with K? Whom am I proving myself to? Like, there's nobody that I'm like, why? Why do we spend more time on petty, unnecessary things that will not be beneficial for us? But for some people, who does that? Those who compete with their partners, in their mind, they're doing the best possible that they could. What they're doing makes sense to them, because I want to prove to my husband or my wife that I can make it without them. So why are you married? Then you should stay single, right? Have children with whomever you care for, and then stay single. Then you do things on your own. Married is like, two as one. So if there is two people as one now, why must you do things separately? Why do women who make more money than their husband treat their husband like they nothing? They look down on them, they disrespect them, and like it's like, I'm making more money, so I get to give orders. I mean, seriously, I don't know. And then vice versa. We know our community, society, most men take care of most of our women, especially the ones who are housewife, the ones who refusing to work, the ones who wants men to take care of them, right? It happens a lot. So if you want your man to take care of you, he's going to tell you what to do. And whatever he needs, you need to provide. But the way our outbringing are, for most, it's a problem. Thank God I have my parents, because my parents, God bless them. Mommy, daddy, I love you guys. God continue to bless them. They did not raise any of us, any of my sisters, myself, to depend on men. They raised us to be strong, to be independent, humble, love us, love ourselves, care for ourselves and others. They didn't, they raised us, with selflessness. That, you don't look down on somebody today because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. At times, you have two people living in the same household and they're planning against each other. My goodness gracious, this is terrible. So competing with your husband or your wife, that's the wrong thing that one can do, because you setting yourself up for a failure. I kid you not. You, whatever it is you're going to do, you may think it will go well. At some point, you're going to everything's going to come tumbling down. Like, I want to hear someone who has had success, unless the partner is somebody who is not helping, who is not hard worker, someone who you can depend on, then you need to have another conversation and also advise yourself, is this somebody that I can continue to build a life with? Because we have to make decisions. You with somebody to spend the rest of your life with, you for better or for worse. But most of us, when it gets to worse, we're like, see you. This is comfort miracle. I know. Say sometimes it's not the alter personality, but some are narcissists, which is personality disorder. Most definitely. Ooh, we since wako cancer, they are broken before adulthood, and whatever they went through, it scares them, and it becomes problem. Hi, sister Miracle. Asami Nuakoken Ampo. In order for one to fix a broken arrow or a broken person, hey, unless the person wants to fix themselves, we can never fix that person. So if the person came into the marriage broken, this is something they're doing things for survival. Everything they do is survival. Even though when they live in a happier home, their actions and decision making can turn that healthier home into unhealthy, toxic. They will destroy their own happiness based on their problems, being broken before adulthood. It's just that comfort. So sometimes you go deep. Oh, this is beneath. You're not going to the top or the bottom. You're going deep in between. What is beneath it? Like a lot of times, some of us, we go into relationship and marriages with a lot of traumatic situation issues that we don't deal with. We just carry that with us, luggages. We come into marriages with so much luggages, and then when we come into the relationship, we come and build more luggages, more problems. We don't come to solve anything. So every time we see our partner being in the problem, meanwhile the problem could be coming from our actions, our decision making, and so many other things. So that is like so true. I mean, personality disorder is something that a lot of people, they don't even recognize it. And when someone recognize it and try to get them help, they're going to like reject the person because like they feel like there's nothing wrong, but there is a lot wrong when one comes with so many hidden agendas, in a negative form. I mean, I don't know if I go against Kay. I know beginning of my marriage, a lot of times when you first get married, in the beginning, it's supposed to be the fun part, right? But mine began with a lot of headache, a lot of sadness, and some of them I created on my own, because I was expecting Kay to do a lot of things, but he wasn't it wasn't his job. It was my job to work on myself and his job to work on himself, because the two of us were like always pushing against each other because we were expecting the other person to fix us, whereas we were supposed to fix ourselves and then come together and you know think together, support each other, care for one another, love ourselves and others. Now, Sister Comfort requires the Sister Sage. I'm waiting for the top, sis. Tops. Yay! That's awesome. Oh, you other years, I can't wait to see for you to come and, talk about your experience with that. Sister Yishankra said, a marriage with two people who feel like they are enemies of one another is not a safe or fun marriage at all. That's toxic and unhealthy. That's not a happy marriage, because something is bound to happen. Because I mean, this type of marriages, that's when like you may have a and then I who saw ban or them pin to an year the anima bear. And some baby. Hey, I ask them more. I mean, to tell you the truth, Pa, if you are married to someone and the two of you are enemies, why are you living together? I will not be able to sleep in a house like that. I mean, I have shared one of my one of my uh, argument that happened with Kay. Like I remember, like when we got married, my father, one of the advice my father, he made a really huge point in that. Like the one thing that he would not tolerate with Kay is for him to like ever raise his hands on me. And I heard that part. That's the part I capture. So like when we started, like whenever we disagree on something and we start arguing, like I remember I used to like try to like push his button intentionally. I wanted him to get upset to the point that he would put his hands on me, which is bad. Now I have to learn my lesson, and I have apologized and I have atoned to my wrongdoing. So I used to push his buttons, because I wanted him to do that, because my father has said, that he will like, dissolve the marriage. And the money back it's not our real it's not happening. We don't start coming back. That's it. So media new to me pa. And one time kasa kasa, and it was like the most foolish thing, like petty stuff. And we like, my thing was like, what, I'm done. I don't want to be married no more. I'm done. I went and got a couple of my clothes in my, the small luggage travel, and put my stuff in there. And I went and put in my car. So as I sat in my car and I put the key in the ignition to turn the car on, like I heard another thing my father said. My father was like, don't think And this was directed to me. After he told Kay what he needed to tell him, he was like, don't think, Adwoa, like, when you and your husband have arguments, that you can just pack your stuff and come to your parents' home because we live here with you, a couple blocks away. So as that came to mind, I'm sitting in the car and I'm embarrassed to come back to the house right away like that, right? So I took myself, my embarrassing self, to the supermarket to get some grocery. And after I got the grocery, I came home. And when I got home, the minute I came inside, the first thing I noticed Kay took was my luggage bag. He took the luggage bag inside the bedroom. And then he came back in the kitchen, helped me unpack the grocery stuff. And then, I went and I started cooking, and then he would come around with like, make like, and I didn't know what else to say because I was really embarrassed. But like, that evening, or I believe probably the next day, I did apologize, for my behavior. And I let him know that, like, in the past, uh, you know, some of the arguments, I was pushing his button to do this because I was really unhappy. And I think that was the beginning of our breaking the cycle of that unhealthy, toxic, characteristic that we started playing a role when we have disagreement and argument. You get to a point that it becomes part of your character because what you feed into yourself, that's what you become. You pick a lot of other things. Mr. Lee, I skipped that part and you have to bring Mr. Lee, we a bad part. I skipped that part intentionally. And I'm thinking, okay, nobody catch on, so I'm free. I forgot Mr. Lee is there. Mr. Lee, you don't let nothing pass. I'll get to your question, Mr. Lee. Treasure your spouse's differences. Amen to that. A lot of us struggle with that. When our spouse uh, is different from us, some of us trying to force upon them for them to be just like us. It would be boring for for a spouse. For you guys, sometimes you may have the same characteristic. Kay and I have a lot in common, but there are certain things that we different. Like when we go outside in the community, right there and then I will be able to engage in different type of conversation and have different topic of discussion. And Kay will sit back unless the conversation is brought to him or he knows you personally. He will not bring himself in the conversation. But we both of us love music, and it don't matter like what I love dancing. He likes to dance, but his dancing is not to the extreme of how I am, right? He loves to sing, and he has a beautiful voice. The first time I heard him singing, I was like memorized. Right? Like it was like awesome. I was like, hey, this guy can sing, So we have certain things. And then of course, when we first beginning of our marriage, I mean, I knew he have anger issue and he knew I have anger issue before we got married. But I didn't think it was going to escalate into like having so many arguments, and so many accusations. There was so much going on. It was really bad. Like we both were like verbally aggressive towards each other, because like if he says something that hurts my feelings, I have to say something that will hurt his feelings as well. So yes, very intense. Oh, that's the right word. Very much so. But there are some things that we are totally different. K is more reserved when we go outside in the community, and I'm like, I'm like all over, like um not to the point that people will start running from me, because I mean, I don't take over the conversation, but I'll be part of the conversation and also share my views and where I'm coming from, to make people understand that this is how my thinking framework. So like I get along with anybody, everybody. I don't have to know you to engage in any topics that you bring forth, or you start back here, like if he doesn't really know you that much, he's not going to engage in that. So, but like that's what I love about him. But sometimes when you the same way, and I'm like open mind person, and Kate has learned to be an open mind, because when we first got married, I thought that he was like one track mind, but I was totally wrong, because I didn't have better understanding with him. I automatically concluded that. And that's what's wrong with some of us. We conclude or assume that someone is some way, even when the person is not. Just because you don't understand the person, you cannot assume that they are this. So thank you, Sister Aisha, for bringing that. We need to treasure our spouse's differences and make it work. We have to sometimes compromise in certain areas. It's a lot. Sister Aisha Anka said, a lack of communication can open the door to all kinds of unhealthy assumptions about your spouse. Communication is the key. Bam, 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 bam. I couldn't have said it any better. Says you just put the nail in the coffin. Like that is exactly it. And I did that in the early of my marriage, and I just gave you an example of what we did. Thank you, sis. Thank you. Thank you. Sister Aisha Ankra says, just like a professional sport needs rules to be played well, your marriage needs boundaries for effective communication. Most definitely. I mean, a lot of times people don't know, like, effective communication goes along with active listening. Because if your partner is speaking with you, you need to be able to be attentive, listen to what they're saying. For me, like in the beginning, I will bring a notepad and I will write down some of the key words that he would say. So once he finished speaking, I will summarize it for him. And then before I start speaking, I will ask him, uh, was there anything I left out? Or do you still, you said this, and that. Did I get everything? Or was there something else I left out? If I left something out, I apologize. Or do you need to add something else to it? And he'll be like, you know what? Oh, and also this and this and this and that. And I'll be like, okay, I understand this. I I will be able to do this right away. But this one right here, I'm going to need time to work on it. And, just to make him feel validated, make him feel important, that the things that they spoke to you about, you made note of it. You did not, you were not just saying, mm-hmm, and then you ask questions, ask the basic questions. America, one thing I love about it, there are 5 W's, so yeah, is it yes, and then you have the H one, the mm, is it 5 or 4? Yeah. um Why, where, what, when. um I'm forgetting some of them. So let's move on. You ask the questions. So when you ask the questions, it's really important, right? But like having lack of boundaries is something that happens in a lot of marital homes. There's lack of boundaries. Sometimes you have a wife that will speak out of terms, not in a disrespectful manner, or like in front, speak to the husband in front of the children, like and then the children start disrespecting their own father because the mother does not show any respect for them. There's a thin line between love and hate. So you need to always have boundaries, set a clear boundaries. What are some of the conversation that can be had in front of the kids, and which ones can never, under any circumstances, don't matter how mad you are, you need to have self-restraint. Self-restraint is something a lot of us don't have. You need to have discipline. Discipline yourself, control your emotions. Know when, if you cannot handle what's happening, you need to take a walk, all right? Or go take a nap. I believe me, I have done that. It has helped me a lot. So that's some of the things that a lot of people do not recognize. Lack of boundaries. You need to set it in every marital home. There needs to be boundary setting, because when there's not, you have everybody speaking like they have diarrhea, right? They have diarrhea mouth. This I said, so I responded to Sister Nekua, said she hear her, the comment that she made earlier. Oh, okay, let me see. All right. So Miss Oh my gosh, I was dreading. Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee, why did they do me like that? Mr. Lee says, so what happened in the bedtime? Oh my goodness gracious. It was like the most amazing uh, night of all. I mean, we had incredible nights, but that night we truly, like, I think we did not sleep more than like 3 hours. I think we were up for most part of the night, and we talked also. Like, I didn't realize that Kay can talk in such manner, because he was like the reserved one, and sometimes I'd be like, God damn. How did I get him into effective communication? Now he's talking more than I am, and expressing, truly expressing himself and using words that is like understandable, and he's breaking it down. So like we talk about a lot of things, and some of the things that um was going through his head, when he saw me pack my stuff, and he was like, he was hoping my father would send me back home. But when I explained to him that I wasn't able to even go to my parents, because I remember something that my dad said when we got married, and he repeated the same thing my father said. So I was like, so you heard that too? He was like, every day when we have arguments, I'm always counting on that to happen. And I was like, so I was like, so you were doing things intentionally too. It wasn't just me. I think we all have our A card that we were using on each other. But like, it was incredible. And he was amazing. Like sometimes you have some couples, they talk in terms of like, oh, like if you want to have good sex with your husband or wife, you need to have an argument. So things and the sex is going to be great. I don't support that. I mean, it was wonderful, but from the years that we have been able to really express each other's feelings with one another and talk about what is working for us and what is not working for us, and what makes me happy and what makes him happy, and vice versa. This, the sex life and love making has been more exciting and better, like as time goes on. So, Mr. Lee, it was a really memorable night. To answer our question, Hey, Mr. Lee, party, I won't maybe be in job. Come and see new styles. It's like Shankar said, we need to remember marriage is not a contest. Okay, so we must never keep a score, just like Rafa Nadal. Hey, Jamal, hey, Tennessee. Hmm. And some more. And you're right. You so very right. We shouldn't be competing with our partners. I mean, the one thing that I always say, I'm grateful. I'm really grateful and I'm blessed in so many ways because how Kay and I start our marriage, if we did not make a decision individually to work on ourselves, I do not think that we would have been together now. We've been together, we go into our 18 years, so we've been married for almost 15 years now. So it's like, it's not easy. But the first 2.5 to 3 years, oh, it was like it wasn't good at all. Like even things that should not turn into an argument, we were making it turn into an argument. We were wasting so much energy on petty stuff. But once we were able to like start learning better coping skills, effective communication, complementing each other, being transparent, being determined, supporting each other, respecting one another, being able to have our own time, mean time, giving him his time, and also when the kids came along to give the kids their time, and being able to freely express our feelings, deep thoughts, not be fearful or like, getting angry at his high tone voice. I got used to his tone, but he has been able to like tone it, like, like tune it every time, like when there are certain things going on. Also, he's very tall, okay? He's tall. So it's like when he's talking to the kids, he will sit and lean back and make sure that the kids are not feeling intimidated. And I remember in our early days in our marriage, he's tall, but I didn't let his height intimidate me. I will literally walk straight up like a strong woman, even though I know when he pushes hands, I will be like on the other side. I will walk and stand straight in his face while my head is like up like this, talking to him. It's really bad. But the energy that I wasted with, argument and unnecessary disagreement, it was a lot. It took a lot of toll on both of us. I remember, like, I will go to work. I have like wrinkle in my eye. It was really bad. But God being so good, we were able to like, really work it through. He never raised his hands at me because he would just get dressed and leave the house. Yeah, and just go for walk. And at times he would stay out. Sometimes he would stay out later than he should, and that alone will trigger another argument, even though he just wanted me to cool down. Um, but I will make it another argument and stuff like that. So, so it's like, Mr. Lee, you like, let me just get to. So, like, when a woman, a wife, or a husband start, having a contest with their partner, you both of you are like, jokers. You joking because you're not gonna get anywhere. It's not about beating the other one. It's not about being better than the other one. No, it's about working together, building each other up. building yourself up, building your self-confidence, feeling secure, not have, building on negative emotions, positive emotions. What are some of the things that I can do that will make my husband so happy that he will be able to, like, put me first and me put him first? Why we not putting energy into that instead of, okay, I want to build my house, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and I don't want my husband to know. I'm doing I'm doing life insurance, and I don't want my husband or my wife to know, because if he or she know, he or she will probably kill me, make stress me to die before for them to get their hands on the money. That is really sad. If you at that point, you need to reconsider, think about what it is that you want and what it is that is not working. Sister Merkua says decision making comes from the brain, but when the brain is sick, oh gosh, she's going there. When the brain is sick, it's like walking with broken leg without crutches. Oh my goodness gracious. Now that's a disaster. A marriage is two people. The other who is not broken suffer most. But as we pass that level, patient, we will be happy again. Most definitely. I mean, a lot of times, you're right. The healthier partner in the relationship suffers the most, because the one who is broken, first of all, they are in the zone of, that's how I was raised. I was never taught this way. And they stuck on what they know. They don't want to learn nothing productive, no new coping skills. It's their way or no way. So many times, like, it's like you fighting against a mountain. One cannot move a mountain. It's like it's sitting still. No matter what you do, you can go around it. You will not be able to dig out the root until the broken partner make decisions to say, okay, my wife or my husband is doing too much. It's about time. I need to support them, and I need to be able to work on myself and do better, because I want to be with my partner for longer time. So you so definitely right. Many times you have most females going through that more than males. Males, it could be also be 50-50, because a lot of our males do not express some of the struggles and challenges that they're going through their relationship or their marriage. Most of them, they don't talk about it, because in our society we talk about men are strong, men don't supposed to cry. What are you talking about? They have emotions too. So it's like, sometimes when you really want to, like, show some type of emotions, because you be considered weak, but crying is not weakness. You need to bring certain things out, because keeping things inside and holding on to wrongdoing of your partner or your partner's children or your children, when you hold on to it, you hurt in your own self, because it's you who is, like, suppressing all that. So it's going to you're gonna get sick. And then when you get sick again, the healthier one has to, like, deal with so many others. So it's a lot. Things. Excuse me for me. I need my charger. Okay. So bring me the charger and the other phone. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, this one is dying. Okay. Thank you, sister. Um Samuel, I'm telling you. Oh, and some bro, that's how I remove some Dawson. Hey, 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 and I'm putting 10 almost 69 into a. Where's the other phone, please? Thank you. Ah, gosh. Some of them do turn their 69 into 96 pound. Hey, who we anyway ha na we nso any hwe ha say chale no be small thing any problem. That's problematic for sure. Hey, yeah, some more. Me, my 69 turned into 69. Chorus. Hey, hey, Masuawo, Masuya, you guys. Oh Lord, Mr. Lee Patterson said, Aisha Ankara, intense wrestling. Wow, beautiful. That's what's up. But who said? Small one, cause you know, you're small. We go there. Akasanoma, another man can hear Mr. Lee. uh, Sister Aisha Ankara said, having a companion who we cherish and admire, who loves and adores us right back, flaws and all, is one of the best things on the planet for sure. Out of everyone on this earth, the one person we most want to appreciate us and all of our hard work is our spouse. Sister, bohobium, but no, already. So wo honum pa na say wowɔ dɔfo a ɔte wase. Even craziness, me, I'm crazy. Okay, I've gone through things. He has gone through things, and I have taken on a lot. So the two of us, we know where we came from, and we know where we are now. So our craziness, he loved my craziness. Hey, he has to love my craziness because I have fun craziness and serious craziness. That's what's up. This Aisha Ankara.
Sorry, I couldn't quite.
Siri. Siri didn't some who. Obi, nobody is talking to you, Siri. Okay. This Aisha Ankara said, Mr. Lee, oh, yes, Mr. Lee. You guys, I'm catching up with the comment. Sister Aisha Ankara said, negotiating with each other without compromising your values and sense of self requires a delicate balance and a lot of alcohol patience. And I'm telling you, it's worth it. Though when we have found the one, that's most definitely bam 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 bam. Hey, brother Wilson, it's good to see you. Hello to you as well. Good to see you. By the grace of God, I am doing so well. I'm blessed and grateful. Thank you. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Sister Aisha Ankara said, when we found the one, you will feel for 69. Laugh out loud. Hey, I'm poor. And I mean, like, there's no Mr. Charming and Prince Charming and the princess. We have to make our own. That's what's up. I mean, it is what it is. Mr. Lee Patterson said the worst backfires, so don't try arguing for sex. I'm telling you, Mr. Lee, I hear some women talking about, oh, like the days that I have the best sex with my husband is like when we argue and that we made up. Seriously? Do right, enjoy each other, be honest with one another, just love you and love life. Why do I need to argue with my husband before he can give me a good sex? That is dysfunctional, in my personal opinion. I would rather learn skills in 365 sets, moves, different position, and pick the ones that I don't break my neck, because I ain't doing any style that's going to kill me. I don't enjoy, and no. It would be so dumb to like try to enjoy something and then your partner drops you, you break your neck and you're gone. No, it's not happening. I have to really enjoy. So learn coping skills, better coping skills. Replace your argument with open, constructive communication, effective communication. Spending time together, supporting one another, learning to compromise when you can meet your partner all the way. Respect your marital home. Be faithful and loyal to your partner. Have transparency. Like, how about that? Replace those with those coping skills. I mean, sex alone, some people say sex is like 95% in their marriage. And I ask myself, so you mean to tell me everything else, effective communication, uh, how you may call it, being respectable, compromising, being supportive, having transparency, teamwork, everything else falls under 5%. How do you justify that and balance it out? I love sex. I love making. I love having quickies. But at the same time, I don't have percentage on it, because there are some weeks, some months that you will go at it throughout, and then there are some months that you need to allow your body to rest. You can't abuse your body like that. Marriage is a lifelong partnership. So you have to decide, are you going to just waste every moment, everything on sex, and without the sex there's no marriage? So it's like, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I don't know how some people think, but sex is one of the components in marriages, the important components in marriages, because it helps with the intimacy, it helps with emotional connection, and so many other things. Getting to know each other, how your partner, what makes them happy, which part of like you explore, you do things that allows you to know your partner deeper than anybody else around them. Sometimes you can look at each other eyes, or like just over somebody else's head, and know exactly what is going through your partner's head, because you know them intimately in such way, right? But to just I don't know, I don't put percentage on that, because I just think, for me, it's not valid. hmm I'm focused more on the component. What are some of the things that Kay and I can do to make us enjoy each other, our family, build a healthier home environment for our kids and for ourselves, and be happy coming home from work, and also encourage each other, build each other up, teamwork. When the kids are struggling in some areas, what are some of the conversation Kay and I will have with the kids, for the kids to know that mom and dad are on the same page, that they cannot split the two of us, because any mother or any father who will use their children against their one of the partners, the father or the mother, they're dysfunctional. They have major issues. There are underlying issues and some traumatic event that they have not been able to work on. So a lot of times, like we create our own issues and problems, and then we're looking for other people to come and save us from it. I mean, why spend so much time building a toxic, unhealthy home, and then you go and pay somebody money to come and fix it for you, whereas you can do that on your own and save your money to invest, to retire, for early retirement, and enjoy when you retire. Sure, you have to think smart. Sister Aisha Anka said marriage is hard work. Yep, and marriage is work. It's all about work. You have to work on things. Remember, you and your partner were not raised in the same household. So, what he has learned and what you have learned over the years with your friends, your circle of friends, characteristic you have picked some of your friends, things that you have enjoyed doing prior to getting married, all that comes into play. So you have to make sure that, like, the both of you are different. So you need to find a common ground and work at your marriage. You know, don't try to change your partner. Instead of trying to change your partner, why don't you look at yourself first and trying to change you for better? So that's how it works. So Sister Aisha, as a marriage is hard work. It it is made easier by the affection and connection we have to the one we love. That's right. It is made much more easier if we maintain a healthy communication lays with mutual respect and courtesy. Amen. I think I was thinking about maturity, but it's mutual respect and courtesy. Most definitely. And bum, 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 bum. Yes. Sister Aisha, Sister Love, I love the comic edge you put on things. It really does put it in perspective. If we could all laugh at our lives the way you have here, we will all live happier, healthier, less stressful lives, and more atopa. Atopabushers. I am the bushers, not so atopabushers. I am the assassin. We appreciate you. Amen and amen. I appreciate you guys also a lot. Thank you. Paul, I'm telling you, hey, because I said, Kamika said, my story, everything that I have done. If I need to tell her, I'll be like so freaking stressed. Hey, my motivational, knowledgeable, beautiful sister, yeah, be Russell back of it. Learn each other's love language. Bum, bum, bum. That's right. That's right. That's right. Hey. You guys see, Ghana for member, and some of you, yeah, was skills. Just say, Adreno, and we rough. You see, you, sister, young Russell say, learn each other's love language. You have to learn to understand each other. Don't assume things. Don't just accuse. Don't label. Like, we shouldn't, stigmatize others because they act differently. I'm telling you, there are so many of us who wants to give love, but we don't know how to display it. Some women literally wants to be loved because they really have not been given love growing up. So they don't know how to do that. To give love, they think, say, doing everything, or like, even things that is not norm. They doing that, okay? Because they don't really have better understanding of it. It took me like, I don't know, like I have so much love. However, like when Kay and I started dating, I did not give him all my love because, like, when you go through a relationship that, it's like loving someone and the person throws back your love back in your face. You get to a point you build a wall, that you will not allow another person to come in. So it's like, in the beginning, I really did not allow Kate to come in. I care for him, very much. I love spending time with him and being around him. But I wasn't in love with him, in the beginning, and I decide to, like, spend the rest of my life with him because I felt that he's someone that we can build each other up. We can do so much together. And, to God be the glory. Yes, the decision that I made, was a good decision. Even though I divorced him like by my words more than 100 times, because every time we had argument, I'd be like, I'm done. I don't want this no more. With the attitude, like, leave me be. I just don't want to deal with this no more, like whatsoever. And it was like just ridiculous. It was like really toxic. It wasn't healthy for either one of us. So, but I started falling in love with Kay once we were able to really start speaking each other's love language, as Sister Yeah Russell will put it. I love that. And we started like us. He started understanding me more and giving me the attention that I need, and I started giving him the attention that he needed. Like we both started like developing other feelings for each other, that we didn't even know existed. So, like when people talk about, love dies, I find it the opposite. Love does manifest with understanding, having clear understanding, being able to have effective communication, learning to compromise with one another, respecting each other, you know, motivating each other, giving positive encouragement, um, and being honest with yourself and with your partner, uh, being able to express your inner feelings and not keep things inside, and learning to forgive one another when you misspoke, or when you do something that that was wrong, taking accountability, and also holding your partner accountable, not in aggressive way, in an intelligent way, using your emotional intelligence effectively. Like, you speak with the person, you don't speak down to your partner. You let them understand that what you did is wrong. However, I understand where you're coming from, but that's not a way to go about it. There are many other ways that this could have played out. Why did you choose to do it this way? And is there a reason? So trying to like pick his brain or her brain to have better understanding, because some of us, our upbringing, we were given so little, and some of us we were given a lot, right? So like, growing up a little bit into my teen years in Ghana and spending most of my life abroad, I have two perspectives. So at times, a certain situation, I have to weigh on each side to see, okay, how can I best approach this? There were times when I started, really having effective communication with my husband. I used to practice when he goes to work. I will stand in the mirror and really speak to myself like I'm speaking with somebody. That's one of my craziness. Yes, and I will try to stand in the way, which side, because we have good side, right? Even when we take pictures, have you guys noticed that some of us would take pictures either on more on our right side or on our left side, or like straight? Like, just pay attention to that. Sometimes you stand certain way because you are so comfortable with that right there, with that type, with that posture. You trust, okay, this, what if I stand this way, my picture is gonna come out good, like in so many ways. And sometimes you take risk, right? You stand in a different form that you have never, and be like, ooh, this is really nice. I need to try this more. That's why it's good for us to try out something new, do something new each and every time. And like sometimes I just like, challenge K on certain things. I'll be like, okay, this month I want to see if you be able to do X, Y, and Z. And he'll be like, oh yeah, you think I can? And I'm like, I'm not saying that. Do you hear me say that? I'm just saying, like, to spike up things, be creative. And at times he would challenge me to do some things. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, you on. And he be like, like, listen, say no more. You going to be begging me. He was like, oh, look at this. And it's good. I mean, you have to get to each other's, we have to laugh together, laugh at each other, and truly value ourselves and our partners. Because I mean, like, when you have a partner, you want to grow old with your partner. If you are a wife or a husband who wants your partner to die before you, man, there is something wrong with you. You have some underlying personality disorder issue, as Sister Miracle will say. Serious matter. Uh, oh my goodness gracious, Sister Aishankras and Sister Love. I don't eat a lot of our local dishes, but I love cooking and hate washing dishes. So my hubby always get on my skin not washing his dishes, and I told him, Master, I beg, make you wash your bowl small, because the guy woman is tired. Then he finally washes it, and it's all about the way I say it. Bam, 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 bam. Like, like when we first got married, like, I would cook and put some food in the refrigerator, and like, my work hours was like really late. I would go to work at 2 and get off at 11 in the night. So like, if Kay finished the food that I have made and put in the refrigerator, like, he's sitting at times, it's done and I'm at work. He's sitting home waiting for me to come home that late to cook. So one day I was at work. I didn't even realize that the food ran out, and then he called me. He was like, Adwoa, I went to the grocery store and purchased this and this and that. Can you teach me how to make peanut soup? I was like, sure. So like, I took my break, half an hour, and I went outside, and walk him through how to make peanut soup. And then he did it. And that he for his first time, that was like really good, because I came home and ate and I was, like licking all my fingers. And he did a move too. He wasn't able to like make it really soft, but for his first time, he did well. And I was really impressed with that. So, like, from that day on, like, he started like cooking here, like there. When I'm cooking, he's helping me. And this, before I know it, at times there will be food in the fridge, but then I'll come and he has to make something totally, completely different. That's so romantic, right? So it's like, now he's a master of cooking. Like, he cooks, he does everything. He does palm soup. Like, there isn't anything that he cannot do. Last time he went to Ghana, he came with kokonte, and he was doing that actually. But it's not like, when it comes to the African dish, yeah, I love it, sis. Maybe me deeper. But for some reason, for the past couple years, I am so stuck on Banku and Kinky. I don't know when all of a sudden, like, I'm doing that. When I was pregnant with my 12-year-old Nanakwesi, Gary Soakings. I would eat Gary Soakings in the night, in the middle of the night, like 1:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I will come and soak me Gary from secondary school, because that's all I could come. Oh no, when you have your parents sending money and it's not being spent on you. The only thing that I rely on in um, secondary school was my Gary and my sugar. My sister will make me, but soakings with no milk. But here I can soak with 1 can of milk without water. So when I was pregnant with the 12-year-old, hi, Gary soakings, Charlie. When I had this boy, he was like 18. When he was 2 months, I show you his picture. You would think that he was older than that. Let me switch this. You see his picture. You see the picture on the top? That was him, 2 months old. Yes. He came out on 9 pounds, 13 ounce. I was like, holy, holy. I have big babies, but I know some people go to 10 pounds and 11, like 13 pounds and all that. But like that is all Gary. I ate so much Gary, like kale, like why? I'm like, I just love Gary soakings, that was me. So and dishes like kale, like most times he washes dishes, his plate without me having to ask. But if he sees like dishes in the sink, he will put it there because he knows that I'm coming to wash them. But when there's nothing in the sink, he will wash his own and put it away. Yep, for sure. But like some of our men, it's like they want some of their wives to do everything. You can't do that. You gotta help us. And since Kay started like, helping out in so many areas, get it on, huh? Hey, everything is moving accordingly. You know what I mean? Mhm. Oh my goodness gracious. But you're right, Sister Ishanka. Sometimes it stamps on how you say things. But some of them we can put it in like a playful way and they will do it. They won't get offended. They won't it will not lessen their manhood. Whereas some of them they will make a big deal out of it. It depends on the person. Shankar said the way we approach each other plays a significant role in our relationship. Bam, 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 bam. Sister Aisha, some man make canon name I was three. Charlie, you don't know. You don't know, cry. So, like, I'm telling you, majority of the time, sometimes, it is just how, you address certain situation. We have to learn to exercise patience and give time. Because I know when Kay and I started like, talking, being able to express ourselves without accusing the other person or blaming the other person. I took accountability of my actions. He took accountability of his actions. We were able to like truly be to exercise patience. And I told him with some of the things I needed more time to work on it. And he gave me the time to work on it. So a lot of times, when you have patient. You exercise patience. It's not everything you have to rush. You have to rush. You don't need to do that. You know. But sometimes when you run foolish race now, you miss a lot of important things. So we have to shine our eyes, make sure that we're not stumbling on others, our own uh, significant others. We tell them we love them, but what we do behind them, or like the thoughts we have in our head is like negative towards them is bad. Sister Yabi Russell Brother Justice answer. Hey, you boss lady, Sister Aisha Ankara, Sister Aisha Ankara. Munina, Sister Yatubra, Mida Munina Masi. Thank you guys. Sister Sage Williams. Munina Mida Masi. Mama Widi and Patenye Buapayam Fanchene. Why? Mhm. Forgive, oh, forgive. Why? Forgive. Let me go to my page to see if I will see myself. This I Saisha, you see me, right? You see me on my personal page, right? I want to make sure. Mr. Lee, where did you go? You're so very welcome. You are welcome. So, a marriage is not a competition, but teamwork. We need to, okay, wonderful. Thank you. Teamwork is something that a lot of us do not understand teamwork. Teamwork means like when it comes to our children outbringing, we are giving the same directive. Even though we might have different style, we have to speak the same language to the kids. So the kids do not have the opportunity to split the parents. The one um, ineffective way for our children to not um, learn better coping skills is parents, working against each other, because our kids, they see everything. Even days that you have arguments behind closed door, not in front of them, they will see your body language. So we need to be very mindful of that. Even if you are divorced, you no longer together, as parents, it's crucial for the parents to be on the same page, putting your heads together and coming up with strategic plan, having conversation around that to make sure that the both of you agrees on what needs to be implemented. All right, having consistency in your marital home to make sure, say, okay, this is a routine that we do, but at the same time give yourself some room to wiggle, because when you are so rigid on everything, at times that can also trigger something else negative. So you have to make sure that it's like you're not too overwhelming your partner. Like, that's why, like, we have family time. We have I have my time, personal time. Kay has his personal time. The kids have their personal time. Even though when they have their personal time, they spend time together. When we have family time, we rotate to pick what movie or games that we all going to play together. We do a lot of trivia stuff, asking questions and answering. Sometimes we get it wrong, the kids get it right, and the two of them will get up and they go, "Oh yeah, oh yeah," and then like they're showing off that they got one over their dad or their mom. So when we do the same thing, you best believe I get up and started dancing. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I got it. You didn't. Like, just show them ways and means, to be receptive. It's not every day you're going to win. You're going to be in front of the race. Sometimes counting from back, you be the last one from the race or the back of the line. So you have to be receptive to whichever position you stand in, and then you build yourself up. And we teach them, wording, the words that we use. So, like, teamwork is something that I have never known any parents, I have never known anyone who is willing to work with their partner or their children, their family. When you are doing the same thing, you are more successful than doing things against. So a lot of marriages have fallen apart or have dissolved because the couples do not have better understanding or respect each other's um, standards. Or some couples, both of them or one of them do not have standards. When they don't have standards, they always going to disrespect your standards. They always going to cause issues, different type of problems towards your standards, and there's always going to be a conflict every time one of you are not going to be happy. So teamwork is very important in marriages. Also, it's really crucial that marriage couples or one partner should never listen to other people's advice too much, because what works for other people may not work in your marital home. When you hear things, you need to be able to really assess it and trying to figure out if that's something that will work in your marriage before you implement in there. Don't just take what you heard and go and implement, because your partner may not be ready for change. Your partner may not be ready for growth. You yourself may not be ready for change or growth. So you always have to exercise patience and take time to do things and do it step by step. Don't just overwhelm yourself with everything at once, because a lot of times, some of us, again, we run foolish race. We rush so much, we miss the most important thing. Before we build a house, we always have to do the foundation, and the foundation, you have to do it well so it will withstand everything else you're going to build upon it. If you don't build a stronger foundation, what's going to happen? Things going to crumble. It's going to come down. So it is important. It's good to listen to other people's advices, but if you have your own formula that is working for you, and you heard something that can also enhance what you already know, then you take that along and you add to it, because girls are bread and girls are bread. It's like you have to bring you then they Abamba to say this. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. And the knowledgeable one. Girls are bread, the girls are bread. Charlie, not be small thing. And it's also it's also important to seek knowledge, right? Mhm. You seek valuable knowledge for sure, and focus on our needs as our partner's needs also. We need to also create meaningful memories. I do have a lot of meaningful memories with Kay, and I'm sure he has plenty with me also. So you have to like create a lot of meaningful memories, because sometimes you need that, to put a smile in your face and be able to uh, okay, moving forward. I mean, I remember like, Kay's birthday like 2 years, 2 or 3 years ago. He's sleeping. I forgot what, but I think he's been 2 years now. And since I'm a mention, I got some souvenirs from her. And she and I talked a couple months before Kay's birthday, and she um, gave me some great ideas and stuff, because what I have planned for him, she kind of had me exploit a little bit further. And she brought all the things that I needed. And Kay woke up in the morning. I present some to him, and as the day went on, I presented, and I have recorded it. That was Sister Mamen's idea to record, because she was like, just record and see what happened. So I did record it, and he was like so dumbfounded. He was shocked at the same time, so very excited. And I was doing a program that day, and uh, the topic for the program that day was living in the moment. And it just happened to be his birthday also. And it was so special. And that day was the one day out of all the programs that I have done that I was able to get Kay to come and dance with me. And like I play his song, um and I'm thinking after he's only gonna dance with me with that song, but he ended up dancing to like three or four other songs, and I was like so happy. I was super excited. I started like dancing in dance, and I was like, well, I'm doing it with you, so it wouldn't be there's no limitation, right? And it was like the most happiest day. Like I felt so good, and he looked so happy. I think he was like so excited that day. And I mean, we have had other birthday celebration, but remember that as one of the special days because his facial expression when he started opening up things and the way he acted, like it was just uh, incredible. It was a good feeling, and it made me feel good that I was able to get him to uh, be so speechless. He got to a point he didn't. The only thing he could say was like, "Wow." I have been in and out to Adwoa. Oh, sis, mate, no problem to say. There's a lot for you to do, so I hear you, sis. So, like creating meaningful memories is like amazing. Even taking pictures of yourself and framing that, in different aspects. I remember like my older sister and I, Crisscross was like, very young because I mean, Chris. So my older sister and I, like for one day, before, like phone was not accessible to us as now. Technology has not advanced as it is, so you buy the camera and the roll of film, and we buy the one with 36 in their roll. And that day we will take pictures, all 36 rolls. But when we developed the picture, we were in different clothes because we would take the picture, change out of our clothes, and wear another clothes and stand somewhere different. Like it was like incredible the way my older sister and I, like, sometimes we're looking at the picture. If someone who does not know, do not know this is what we did when we were younger, they would think the pictures were taken different days, and we would style our hair differently. Like there was like some pictures I'm wearing just sports bra, and I have like the traditional clothing. I just tied it on the side and make a skirt out of it. Like it was like so incredible. And looking at the pictures, sometimes I'll be like, man, oh man, those were like the old days, old good days. And those pictures came out really nice. So that is like meaningful memories that my older sister and I had. And then when Chris Cross got older, she too started doing the same thing because she observed us doing that. So she also started doing something like that. So, but it was incredible. Hey, time to leave? Hmm. Okay, so and we also need to learn to appreciate our body capacity, capabilities, our body, the things our body can do, what our body can handle. Don't go and do things that your body will not be able to do. I kid you not. I tell you, don't go do that. Hmm. Because sometimes, even with the 365, it's not every position that you need to do because some of them you're going to break your neck. Let's just say your partner is so excited and he drops you. You dead. I also love to make a list of things that makes me happy and appreciate my body because I am uniquely made, and so are you and everybody else. So we need to like keep that in mind. All right. Mm-hmm. Uh, we should never second guess ourselves or our ability for no one because true value only comes from without truly comes from within. Okay, and we also need to practice gratitude. We have to be um, appreciative and show gratitude of the things that our partner do. We already talked about, developing effective communication. That's something that a lot of couples lack of. If you don't learn how to talk to your partner, or talk with your partner, or have important discussion that will affect both of you, there's always going to be a conflict. We need to have a good relationship and respect um, ourselves and our body, and not doing things that the society is expecting from us. But we do what makes us happy. I am who I am because I choose to be. I am not going to have anybody dictate how I should live my life, how I should talk, how I should laugh. No, I do what makes me happy. We need to, low self esteem is something that is caused um, most couples to listen to negative comments, compare themselves to others' relationship, compete with one another without having clear understanding the damages they're doing with their partner. Making decision makings also, and it prevents us from making what is really beneficial to us. Or most of us, we tend to request for more than we can afford. We spending more than we have, and it shouldn't have to be. You have people who will get a loan just to keep up with society, or just to make themselves look like they have made it. Meanwhile, they're struggling behind closed door. Don't pretend to be someone that you're not. Be yourself. People will learn to love you as you are. If they don't love you, then you're not the problem. They're the problem, because and their problem should not be your problem. We need to have our identity, uh, and not like listening to what other people say. I mean, I have heard some instances where as you have some people talk foolishness regarding, women are made to uh, be married. They only exist when they marry. Charlie, that's childish talk. Very unintelligent, because I have my identity before Kay and I started dating and before we decided to get married. It's important for us to identify what is contributing to our poor body image, and also surround ourselves with strong supporters, um, genuine friends, family members, partners, and always have honest conversation with our loved ones who makes um, comments about our body, you know, how they talk about your body effects, in order to set boundaries, I mean, I have kids, so my body is how it is. Um, I will work on my body anyhow I feel like it. Nobody is going to tell me anything different unless I want to change something. Nobody can change me. Uh, Learn to love yourself, and learn to appreciate all the things in life, what you have accomplished and what you're planning to accomplish, and so forth. You need to do that. It's important for couples to spend quality time with one another. It's like, and also having your own time. Don't feel that you need to be pressured to satisfy other people. Um, Spending quality time and being intimate with your significant other more often. Sometimes you can sit together in the same couch, lean on each other, watch TV, watch YouTube funny videos, watch some of Sister Yatuber's programs, go to Sister Sage's, website to get some nice t-shirts and creams and, dresses and stuff. Just be there for your partner. Go listen to Pastor Patience program, Boss Ladies program, like, Sister Aisha, go read Sister Aisha's comments and so many other things. We need to be able to, like, really support each other and be each other's keeper. We need to build each other up. So it's good. We need to listen to each other attentively without assuming or accusing. We need to be honest with our feelings and um, needs. Focus more on our needs than our desire. Desire is something that you can go without. You will not die with that, if you don't have your desire met. But our needs is the most important thing. We need to learn better coping skills to build each other up with clear understanding, respect. Learn to invest for early future retirement. Um, we need to make mental note that there is no perfect man or perfect woman out there, and mistakes will be made. But we need to own our mistakes, then take accountability to work on ourselves without putting that pressure on our partner. We shouldn't demand things from our partner. We should talk with them and let them know there are certain characteristic or personality or things that you may not like, and you like for them to work on it because this is something that really bothers you, and you give them some examples how it's bothering you. That's have an honest conversation. Furthermore, never stump low to accept a foolish partner who does not appreciate you or respect you, or like verbally abusing you, using you, abusing you financially, emotionally, psychologically, sexually, identity wise, and so forth. Don't give that opportunity to anybody. Nobody owns you in this world. You are your own person. So you do things that makes you happy. Don't chase love. Love yourself, value yourself, and once that falls through, when a partner is mistreating you, you can identify that quicker. Love is not blind. People choose to be blind because they don't want to have to deal with the problem at hand. They think gradually by avoiding it, it's going to work itself out. Avoidance is not something that can work out certain problems. Unfaithful parents, like we have some parents that are unfaithful to their partners and very disrespectful, period. And you have some parents, one time my dear brother Big Love was talking, and I think a lot of people, where he was coming from, a lot of people misunderstood him. He was talking about us children, we have some parents expecting us to grow up and build them a house and do this and take care of them. And he was like, if I have a father who is womanizer and spend all his young age and his lifetime chasing young women, doing whatsoever, misusing his money, and he's not able to build a house for himself. And then fast forward, he retires and he's struggling and he's looking at his child to come and build a house for him. If that was easy, why didn't he build a house for themselves? Because he spent his money for foolish things. So why should the child come and do something for you? And sometimes we don't think things in certain way. Yep. Hey boss, you not sleeping. Are you, your friend is saying, Dr. Sakura, I text me saying and Pamu Komodi Beba Sukra, send me responding back to him. The money who said I'll be there. Yeah. Let me let me go and respond because I don't want him to think, okay, he said, Pamu Komodi Beba so live tonight. Okay, so I'll let him know I'll be there. I will be there. Yep, I will be there for sure. I love him, Pamu Komodi. Oh, you hear my lie, my laugh? Yeah, well, you're not sleeping. You should be getting some rest. So when I'm not, what to say? Oh, oh my goodness. I don't know when you and sister Aisha get some rest. I don't know. I know some of the sister say, yeah, yeah, but you yeah, your time you're the same. You know, yeah, some more. Uh-huh. Nti no te sɛ like if you are a parent na na te sɛ wo expect sɛ wohwɛ wo mma na wo mma abɛhwɛ wo a you have to think twice before you act once. Start investing. Be smart. You have a lot of our men chasing young girls, being unfaithful because our society accept polygamy and so many other stuff, right? And then you get older, all the things that you did, you use your money for senseless, baseless things, and you're expecting your child to come and do something valuable for you. It's not happening. You see, I am so like, you see, I have great respect for my father because my sisters and brother is just us. Nobody has ever come and say, "Oh, I'm your father's daughter or your father's son." My father did not have children outside his marriage, you know, and I respect my dad for that. Yes, I respect him very much because sometimes all that drama and so many craziness with, mm-mm, it's us, just us. So we love us for, and I love my dad for that. And my mom, oh, she is incredible woman. My mother is like amazing. Uh, she's not pushover. You can put one past her at all. No, 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 no. I know, right, Sister Aisha, boss lady the great is your boss lady the great. uh, I'm thinking boss went to sleep. Oh, say what has thank you guys so very much. You guys are like so unique in everywhere, and I love you guys. Love you guys with all my heart. So, boss lady says, Sister Aisha, please, how are you and the family doing? Boss lady, we are great. That's awesome. She said, we thank God. Oh. You see, this is like, this is what we call sisters. We love each other. That's good. All right. So, um, before I go off, I need to like, do promos. So let me conclude here and then do the promos and then I'll play two of my songs, Sakina, and another one. I know a secret, I think. So all right. So we need to, as couples, a wife and a husband, woman, men, we need to know our self-worth. Mhm. And do not stay in an unhappy marriage just to satisfy others or like pretend. I mean, when you are unhappy inside, you're going to die before your age. And that's what I call foolish death. We can be secretive. We cannot lie. We cannot develop mistrust because when you have trust and the trust is broken, it's very difficult to fix it back. I mean, when you can use, I always use two things: plastic cup and a glass. Okay, when you shatter the glass, no matter what you do, you can never put it back together. The only thing that you have to like let it go. You have to throw it away because you can't put it back together as it is. And then when you have a plastic cup, okay, if you drop it, it can bounce back up, or it can, break, right? When it breaks, you can put it together, but it's not going to be the same. You're going to see the mark uh, it, where it broke because you use something to like keep it together. So it's never going to be the same. The ones that bounce back will be more easier to build things back up because depending on what uh, the problem was. But the one thing that I can say that we have men and women, we have blood running through us. So those partners, women, men who are unfaithful to their partners, when a woman is unfaithful in our community, society, they are labeled. Mhm. When a man is cheating, it's norm, which is not, because the same way that most men do not want their women being touched by another man, some of us women feels the same way, but our people are expecting us to accept it. It doesn't work like that. What you don't want to be done to you, you should not do to others. So we need to not do things to betray our trust, to lie to each other, and build other negative aspects, because negativity destroys marriages. Negativity destroy, period. Right? Unity, teamwork, it unites, and it builds success around, even our children, they learn from us. They become what they become because they see that playing in the house. Most abusers, they grow up in an abusive home, toxic home, unhealthy home, and some of them is behavior that they adopt based on people that they hang with. So what is, you have to always ask yourself questions and ask yourself, like, what is your core value in life? Remember that money is a tool. Money is not value. So there's a big difference. Having money is good, but it's a tool to get you to places. But you need to always find your core value in your marriage. Learn to appreciate yourself and appreciate your partner, and don't just jump into things because other people are doing it. Competing with others is unnecessary. Some of us ends up losing a good marriage because we're competing with other people. For Kay and I, we are working because we find our own core values and we respect each other. We set boundaries and we know exactly what we want, what we need. We don't confuse our desire with our needs. We have we have identified which one is which. So I mean, our desires is to just just keep each other on our toe, right? But our needs is something that we need to build on. So I'm gonna leave you guys here tonight, but before I go off, okay, all right, thanks. Sorry, guys. Hey, just say the different man, for me. Then I know. Mean to me, no. I tell me, but would the ano ya wasiano? Sana yan. Okay, so boss lady, Monday through Friday, I'll bed drive over for Fire Life Radio. Mhm. Boss lady topics our day banner to say you no maya name is very sensitive, and some of them no here nkɔmmɔdie wɔ ho te sɛ yɛbɛkyerɛkyerɛ yɛadwen. Yɛawada say for the past almost a month no, yɛawada biara boss lady program no, it revolves around mental health, where Sister Awo Mekua will come in there and gives a lot of informative, educational information regarding that, because she does work in the mental health environment. So the way she breaks things down, and you can go on and ask questions if you have certain questions or you're not clear about something that she said. And she's not one of those people, like, she has the patience, and she encourages all of us, everyone, to, ask questions, and she doesn't rush people off. So you guys need to tune in Monday through Friday, UK time, 4 p.m. With Boss Lady at Fire Life Radio. So if you come across her videos, please push it forward, because they're very insightful, very educational, and we will all learn something really productive with that. And then we have Sister Yatubra, our author, you know. And second publication is The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. And this book I have mentioned it many times. I identify myself in it. A lot of women are going to find themselves in the book, because, her description, it shows that a lot of us are like, have gone through so many similar things on different times, that we don't, like, if women sit together, every month, every 2 months, to have conversation of their struggles, challenges, and things that they did not know before, and what they have learned now, you find that a lot of us have so much in common. It's like she plays most women in the book, and she is like faith based book, and I can read the book over and over and over and over again. I will never get tired of that book. Sister Yatobra also does program, very educated program. Tuesdays is practical in Yamisam, and then any Yamin Kohan. And then Thursdays is a Rise Woman with Sister Shyla, um, Ama Joe Adamson, and then Sister Yabi Russell. At times you see Sister Awomeko also come on. Every once in a blue moon, you see me there. And then Sundays you have she picks a page from her second book publication, The Beauty of a Woman's Heart, and then she put it in public forum for them to discuss that. They relate that into real life, some of the struggles that we're going through, and it's like real talk. There's no, like, anything goes back, like, positive encouragement, inspirational in so many ways. So you guys tune in when you see her videos. Please do share. I mean, anything that we watch that is productive, that we gain something beneficial out of it. Maybe a brother, a sister, someone is going through some things that we might be talking about. So if you do share and the person sees it's not, that might be able to help the person. So um I think all my sisters that does program, so far is very educative and informative, productive. So I like. And then we have Sister Awume Request. She does lunchtime talk on Fridays. Of lately, she's getting me really confused, because she will come on days that she normally come on, but that's when, like, she have something that comes out impromptu, and I love those like impromptu moments. And then this past Sunday, I finally was able to get Sister Ya Russell, Sister Ya B Russell's program that she does, because every time I talk about um healthy living, which is like close to it. But Sister Yabi Russell, she does 100% natural health and beauty advocate. She has a lot of education on natural health. and products that she can give you a lot of insightful educational for you to make decision in taking care of yourself, making sure that your beauty, you enjoy your beauty and you don't doubt yourself. So hey, anything positive you need to get. Okay, you need to bring yourself in that. Yay! You have Sister Shiloh's kitchen. Also, if you are Canada based, make sure you look for her and you go and support her. If I travel to Canada, of course, you're going to find me there. I'm going to make sure that I look for her kitchen and go and have me some yummy, 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 yummy food. This time, my mention, we know, she does program all over. Sometimes she comes live and I'm sleeping. I hardly log off my Facebook. I need to start doing that. So sometimes people come on and they would think I'm on. I'll be sleeping. So it's like, are you tricking me? Yeah, most of. So who else? I'm Pastor Patience on Sundays at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. She does programs. I think Dreamers and Visionaries. Um, at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and I believe 1 p.m. MS. Sister Aisha Ankara worked on Avon products and also Juice Plus as well. Juice Plus, there's many of us who sell Juice Plus, so you can go to any of us to get Juice Plus, supplement product. You see how beautiful my skin looks? No makeup, no thank you. Just my natural beauty. Who am I forgetting? If I'm forgetting anyone, please forgive me. Oh. Please, 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 please. And Sister Mamle, I will you too. Epa worldwide. Worldwide. So now, also subscribe and support her also. She does a lot about mm, oh gosh, abuse, right? And very she does a lot of educational programs in regards to abuse, traumatic stuff. I know. hmm Who else? Oh, Sister Yatubra, don't forget her book. You can get it at Amazon. Today she didn't put the link over there. So let's support each other. Please subscribe our YouTube channels. Okay. We we would like for you guys to support us, like our page. Oh, this one here. Like our page. hmm Follow us. That's like but I need to say goodbye to you guys. I know, right? I'm going off a bit early. Yeah, I need to start doing that because I need to go and do one or two things. Hi, Mr. Lee. Thank you so much, brother Isaac Amwani. Thank you, Sister Yata Ramadan, Sister Sage Williams. Hey, hi. Okay, Sister Sage Williams. Website is sageshare.com. You go there, you see it's right there. You see on the screen, see you see that. She sell T-shirts with designs, different designer, the African map, and then she has different other designs, dresses, with our traditional clothes, kente, um, creams, jewelries, necklaces, beads, um, so many other things. So you can go and purchase some stuff. When you go into her website, she does have a box with comments. So if you don't see the color of shirt you want, you just put in the box the colors you want and the sizes. You can pick the sizes prior to that, and then you let her know how many items that you want, and she's going to contact you through your email address you will provide, and believe in me. In due time, you will receive it. Very authentic merchandise. So good thing that thanking you guys. I was able to. I can't believe I almost forgot. Let me see. Hmm. Okay. Hey, and then today we didn't see Brother Nana Sante, Brother Nati Dazi, Brother Ankra. We didn't see them. Sister Comfort, Rekoa, Nim, Medasapa, Rekoa, with your insightful contribution. And so is everybody else. Sister Aisha, Mr. Lee, with your questions. Brother Kwe, Saki, the first one to pop up here today. Meda mo nyinaa mo ase mo a mantumi amɔ mo din, meda mo nso mo nyinaa mo ase, Nyame nhyira mo nyinaa. Nti no ma memmɔ m'enwum mmienu. Enwum no deɛ ɛhe koraa na ɛyɛ sɛ mebɔ? Oh, two. Sakina ne uncle bo from Enchi ne Enchi. Sɛ meka no yie, right? Enchi ne Enchi. Nti no ma memmɔ Sakina first. I love Sakina. I don't know, hear me, sir.
Want to make math
fun
for your child?
And to say, like, I will see you guys tomorrow. And tomorrow at 3 p.m. US Eastern time with Sofu Samuel Koso. With marriage lessons, join us. We're going to Sofu has a really great topic. To say our real say nsɛm bɛrima bi wɔ hɔ nom a ne yere ka asɛm kyerɛ no a nkana no, ɔbaa bi wɔ nso a ne kunu ka asɛm kyerɛ no nkana no nti no, we have to be very mindful with confidentiality. You cannot. I wish we can have HIPAA in our marriage. Oh, tight. That's like crazy. Oh, thank you, Sister Sage. Nyamisha mu nyinaa meda mu nyinaa mo ase sɛ mmerɛ bi a meba so biara, it don't matter how long I sit here, and you guys will be right there with me. Nyamisha mu, you all have a great and blessed weekend. Nyame nka yɛn nyinaa yɛn ho, ɔmmɔ yɛn ho ban. Yɛatamfo nyinaa nhu yɛn nsɛre. Atopambushos, here we come. Bye. Thank you. Moi, share program, liking, loving, using other emojis, inviting friends. Why? It's not intentional if I didn't mention your name. I love you guys in the same. One love to you guys. No dance will kill her. Salam alaikum.
Sakina, Odo Sakina, Odo
my baby sister. Hello.
I'll Sakina, what am I doing here? A chick Sakina, Odo make me yes, so Sankra, say Jaimo. Maso me do fi koye, I'm a red one, I'm media. Me die now, and she me the giant. Send me down back to Brenda, I can't be so mad, me bench. Uncle say other man, or chop a banana. Uncle say other man, or chop a banana. Sakina, Salam alaikum. Sikaye, I what you get Sikaye, I saw what on Sui Avio. So for your boom, that you could say me yet. Living out your don't want. It is so old, yeah. I will be doing. Mind ye down to you. I'll go, yeah. I put them there, they must walk. And where would you? I will go to this and cry. I saw better than them. But you are late down to you. I'll go, yeah. Oh, don't me from you. Sakina, Sakina, yeah. Jump, Sakina, Sakina, oh, Sakina, Sakina, jump, Sakina, Sakina, oh, yeah. I really care. I care. Let's see the show. You don't need to message you from my office. You from my job. The number you never said you could supply more high. You won't buy the set. You better try to chat out to see your demo. Let's show. And now I come to you to get. It's all your success in my way out. But I have all that people. I support the job. The direct carry. I got people. If it will, I guess when I would die from course, I was about to go down with the foot of the gun. And now the two back a second to look at that. You put that up the road. And I never sat. I'm a woman there. Me a punk. It's just a punk. What is the my worry? Oh no, people bring that one more better. When you tell the again, I don't have the matter. I'm going to say, bring it in your back. It's a watching. And this second time, I say, I don't play the sauce of the read to me to some champion. Love me, Salam alaikum. Alaikum salam. Salam alaikum. Alaikum salam. Sakina, 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 jump, Sakina, Sakina, oh no, Sakina, 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 jump, Sakina, Sakina, oh no, Sakina, 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 jump, Sakina, Sakina, oh no, When you're Abrabo Mu Nsem, that's what I do, baby. Now, you mean my grandpa? I told that one, Mama, go here. All I want, Mama, I think that messed up a patio. That's so, my worry, I should say it. My worry, I should say it. I'm grateful. and you won't try and the friend be paid to the theater. That's so and as they be shana, a friend me there on your man. Just the one or about I didn't get Betchima, Cinema, Mawario, Sicilia, Mawario, Sicilia, come on,
You guys have a safe, blessed weekend, right? Bye. Woo! Woo! Love ya.